Hello YouTube, here I am, ready to join the self-righteous hordes of opinionated preachers. My name's Oliver. I've got a lot of opinions, and I'm sure you do too. And you're probably sick of it. You're probably sick of everyone with their fucking side of the story, right? Well, I mean, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. So, for the most part, what I'm going to be hitting on is a lot of health shit. I've had a lot of health problems most of my life. Still do at times. And tackling it. I'm doing way better than I was most of my life. Let's adjust here. So much better and getting better all the time. It's a long process. When you're really fucked up, it takes a little while to heal sometimes. I'm a particular case. I've spent tens of thousands that I did not have, or that I went out of my way to make, working with practitioners, buying books, trying supplements, because I'm in Canada, so we have free health care. People always ask me, why are you spending money on health? Well, because the doctors here are fucking shit. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Obviously, they're good for some things. I'm not going to deny that. But, there's a reason why there's so many doctors nowadays who are saying they're going to retire early, because they can't help people anymore. They don't know what to do. Anyways, the thing is that this whole health thing relates to basically everything else. Everything's connected. A lot of the reasons why doctors are so ignorant are for political reasons, economic reasons, even philosophical and spiritual reasons. The reason why there are so many opinions is so much polarization on every single level of society, on every field, in every field, is for the same reasons, because we don't know how to navigate reality beyond our personal beliefs. We haven't been given the tools. And also, people don't really want to think about that kind of a thing. They don't have the time, because they have more important, I don't like air quotes, but they have more important things to do. Or so they think. Well, basically, I'm going to start off on the topic of health, because it's a good example, and I think it's pretty central, actually. I think health is more important than people think. Not just, sure, people who are sick, they know that they need to take care of themselves, but those who aren't sick don't realize just how important a topic this is, or those who don't know they're sick don't realize how important this is, because the way you perceive reality is in large part through your body, through your senses, and your body. The quality of your ability to perceive will be limited to the functionality of your body, the coherence, and the synchronization of your own body, right? That's pretty obvious. We collect information generally through our five senses and deduction, and if we're not keenly aware of the limitations of our senses, then it becomes very easy for us to fill in the blanks with assumptions and overblown beliefs. Yeah, that would be the right way to say it. So, I need a hat or something. I'm sure I got one around here. One second. I like to keep the hair out of my face, but I should just get it cut, but then every time I get it cut, I'm pissed off because it takes so long to grow and it's so easy to cut it off. Where was I? Yeah, basically, I would like us to be able to laugh at ourselves a little bit more about all this shit. Like, right now there's a bit of a war bubbling up. Not a literal war, but just as well, I guess a cold war practically between the carnivores and the vegans. It's actually more of a thing than you might think, that veganism is pushing for radical change. Not all vegans. There's some great vegans out there, but I'm talking about extremists who are pushing for laws against meat production and consumption, or taxation of said products. And then there's a lot of carnivores who believe that veganism starves your brain and your nervous system, and it's a means for it's a political means to keep people dumbed down. Anyways, I won't go into the really extreme stuff. It might sound practically conspiratorial, but they're both right in some ways for doing what they're doing, and overblown in others, as it always is. But the point I'm trying to make is we're never going to be able to actually have a rational conversation if the conversation is so loaded. I mean, I do tend to fall on the carnivorous side of things, but not because I hate vegans or who knows? I mean, I think that plants are evil or some shit. This has literally been the only way I was able to eat for a long time without having serious health issues. So, I mean, I can't help it, basically. So, yeah, if a vegan comes along and tells me I'm wrong for being alive, for living the way I do, well then, they're asking for an argument. And if they keep ignoring the basic facts I have to present, that some people are in compromised health situations and that they require meat, if not, you know, I personally believe a large part of the population requires meat to sustain health, at least a minimal amount. If you keep challenging that, then and you don't listen to that basic fact that a lot of people do need meat, if not next to everybody, then you're asking for war. You're asking for actual violence, because people will defend it sooner or later. But why not avoid that and, let's say, actually have a decent argument? A decent exchange. Argument tends to be, again, a loaded term, because it sounds like a conflict or something. But arguments can be civil. Arguments can be calm. They can be a discussion as opposed to an argument. It would be nice to see people who are completely impartial about topics do a decent amount of research, be paid to do a lot of research, and then have intelligent but non-biased argument about it. The only problem is that it requires a certain amount of passion to do this kind of research often enough. Luckily, for me, my health has taken me in so many directions that I've been very, very passionate at doing research in a lot of opposing and almost contradictory perspectives. And this is what I'm getting at. And I've seen it in politics too, philosophy, spirituality versus like atheism, or different types of spirituality. And no one listens to each other, because we sure like to feel validated about ourselves. You know, we do like to feel like, oh no, those people are are fucking idiots, and I'm right, they're wrong, I must be so fucking smart. Well, for me, just an example, I love just keep trying to learn new things and try new things at this point. I feel like I'm a little bit past all that. I do have some opinions, and I do think some people are more wrong than others, but I'm open to the idea that that might change. I think this kind of fluidity is difficult for people at first because we want to be comfortable. We want to be able to know, you know what, I know how to take care of my health, so 20 years down the line, I'm not going to get cancer, I'm going to live a long life, I'm not going to age, shit like that. For practitioners too, the people who tend to promote certain health modalities, they want to be able to know that they're going to get results for their clients. And a lot of people with completely different approaches get results. Thing is, sometimes you get results on the short term and you do damage on the long term. And sometimes you get results, but they're not as good as they could be. So it can be scary in the public eye to change your opinion if you're a thought leader of some kind, because as soon as you show that you can be wrong, you're afraid that people will say, hey, this person, they were wrong once, they could be wrong again, or their deductive ability isn't as good as I would have hoped. But you know what? Fuck those people, because if they're judging you in that sense, then they have the same problem themselves. They're not able to question their framework and improve upon it to keep getting better results and help more people. And that's the fundamental issue, is self-awareness, being able to not react emotionally when we're being opposed, to genuinely consider and go over the facts again and again and again and again, because God, a great exercise that I forced myself to do over the years. At this point, this kind of stuff, I was raised in sort of a Vedic spiritual household, but a lot of that root spirituality isn't so much like, oh, pray to God, and he'll make magic rain down from the glorious heavens, blah blah blah. It's a lot more psychology. In fact, it's a lot of questioning yourself, self-awareness, destroying your identity and rebuilding it. Anyways, so this has been a practice I came up with ages ago. Is I look over everything I believe in. Like, it's good to start with a specific area, so let's just say nutrition. You look at all the things that you believe, like, oh, cholesterol is bad for me, right? Something like that. I don't believe that personally, though I'm still open to the idea, as I'm going to say again and again, that it might be true. Send me studies, send me arguments. Please do, always do. But I've already seen all the arguments out there, as far as I know, for and against it, and that's what the exercise is. You take that, is cholesterol is bad for me, and then you look at where the source of that belief comes from. Someone told me this, or my doctor told me this, and then you keep going down that rabbit hole. You know, you kind of follow the money. A lot of the time, it's just something someone that we respected told us at a young age, or, you know, at an older age too. Someone that we consider to be able to have some kind of authority. And the more you do this, it's actually kind of scary how much you realize you don't fucking know anything. Sorry, I get reactive about this. We know very, very little. We are so limited in what we're able to know. This is again something why I enjoy health so much, is because it's the most direct type of actual experiment that you can do. And I'll say, a lot of this kind of practice is actually very good for your health. It reduces stress enormously. At first it's terrifying because you're diving into the unknown again and again, but then you develop a sort of comfort with the unknown. And that's where the magic happens. It's you become very free. There's something called freedom of choice. So it's when someone pokes one of your buttons, one of your emotional buttons, when you're in this state, when you've been doing this kind of practice, instead of jumping on it, you can kind of sit there and be like, well, reacting at this point isn't really going to do much good. I'm actually going to consider what they have to say. Shocking, right? Anyways, I'm going to end this video and start a new one. This is going to have several parts. This might be an eternal conversation because it definitely is a never-ending process. So thanks for watching. I'll be right back.